Understand, like you said, if you can clean up your language and say things in a way that people can hear it, because if you're in a respectful place, of course you'd want to say something respectful to somebody else. Of course you would. If I really care about someone, I wouldn't want to say or do something that would be hurtful to them. But how many times does somebody say something and it triggers somebody's hurt or their anger, and then they respond to it, and maybe they weren't even aware that they did, or maybe they did. Sometimes it's done deliberately. But then it's all this garbage going back and forth, and the words selected are to jab. What a horrible way to live.
So we get our prides, human beings, our pride, our egos, and all those judgments really get in the way, and all the pettiness builds, and that's the yuck that comes.
Total yuck.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I was growing up, it was, you know, what can break a marriage is that toothpaste cap never being put on for 25 years, and one day that husband goes, I've had enough. Because it's all those little things built and built and built and built and built and built and built. So it's much better if you just get it cleaned out. So then you're happy, and not Pollyanna happy.
Right.
If I'm seeing somebody homeless and they're saying, I lost my job, can you spare a dime? Or whatever. My heart can go out to them. I don't have to go, oh, can you imagine I have a tough life too.
Right.
I can feel their pain. I can see their pain. And I can feel what's going on with the people around me. And I don't have to take it on and make it mine, but I can feel it and I don't have to add to it. I do not have to make somebody else's bad day my bad day. But that's also where I was saying before the break, that we can really meet people where they're at. I feel like with what I've gone through, I've walked through every stage that we've said is going to bring you happiness, and it didn't bring me happiness. And then so I found this method that I can actually help others get clear too. And I know because it did it for me, and I've been doing this 16 years, and I see all my clients, and it works every time because I'm not doing it. My client is. They're in touch with it. So you're not whitewashing it.
You're a guide, and what's beautiful is it's one of those safe environments where you really, the person feels safe. They don't feel judged. They don't feel anything that is negative going through the clearing process. And that's not like being in other situations where let's talk about your pain and stay focused on it, and next week let's relive it again.
And again, and again, and again, and dissect it. That's not necessary. You've already gone through it. Let's get rid of the pain that's associated with it. What's really interesting is sometimes people feel like, well, I've got to understand this pain first before I can release it. And I find it's actually the opposite. When somebody is releasing their pain and you start to get clarity, clear thinking starts to come because your head starts to clear. Perfect. You're starting to think in your right mind again. All of a sudden, I'll get people go, oh my gosh, I just now figured that out. Because what's getting you in that place where you're all worked up about it, you can't see clearly, and then you can't connect the dots. So holding on to that pain isn't going to help you understand it. Get rid of the pain, and then you'll have clear thinking about what happened, and then somebody maybe, if you need some guidance on, well, how can I do it differently? They can guide you through it, because now you don't have all this stuff jumbled up inside that you're like, okay, I can do this, but oh my God, I feel that this anger is just going to explode any moment.
Right.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, I have heard people, I'm so filled with anxiety, I think I'm going to explode.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm not in that space that would make life joyful.
Exactly.
No matter what's going on.
No matter what's going on. Because it really doesn't matter. If you don't have a button that somebody's pushing on inside of you, all this stuff happens outside of you. And then you really can stay in that calm, peaceful place, no matter what. It doesn't matter what it is. You just stay calm through it. You don't have to go, this is going on. That's going on.
So it's those emotions and paying attention to everything, and how we all really do have this ability to make the choice. Do I want to go there? Or do I want to go here? Do I want to?
Yes.
No.
Exactly. I got this morning. I want to read what I got because this was so beautifully said. The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. And I thought, this is so perfect because this is exactly what I do. I help somebody out of those depths. All those things that I've just said, I help them out of it. It's gone. These people now have an appreciation and a sensitivity and understanding of life that fills them with compassion, gentleness, and a genuine concern for others. Beautiful people do not just happen. And I love that.
That is really nice. By experience and how no matter where a person are, just think if there's somebody out there that really doesn't have that much baggage, how lucky they are. They can get cleaned out really quickly and have room for more growth in a direction that would evolve their consciousness and be a gift to others.
Absolutely. And that's what I'd like to see more of on this planet. We will live in a very different planet if we had that. If people got rid of their negative baggage and then the negative chatter between their ears, all the garbage they tell themselves, because believe me, people judge themselves harsher than anybody else. That is really sad. It's not necessary. You don't have to judge. I don't judge people. When somebody comes in and says, my mom did this to me, or my spouse did this to me, or my boss did this to me, I'm not judging them. My whole goal is, well, let's get rid of you feeling that way. Yes. And then you can see them through different eyes. Or maybe they really are a jerk, but they don't have to get to you any longer. You can leave them outside of you. And that's when life becomes easy, and like what I was just reading. But you have that compassion for others.
It's almost like that love, that unconditional love and acceptance of where the other person is, regardless if you're in alignment with it.
Exactly, totally. I don't have to agree with them, but I don't have to get upset with them or zing it back to them because I don't like when I'm feeling that way. I don't know about you, Gigi, but when I'm all stirred up inside and my life isn't going very smoothly, so my life goes smoothly when I'm happy, but genuinely happy.
Yes, exactly. And I think we all want that peaceful place within us. We all really want, to lay in bed at night and have that consciousness. Well, let's see, let's say, experience or challenge. I did my best. I have to accept I did my best. The other person did their best, perhaps, whatever the story is.
Yes.
And allow to let it go and know that we did our best so that the next day we can wake up and have happy feet and go through things doing our best again.
A new page, a new day.
Yeah. There you go.
Don't carry that stuff from the day before with you. If you didn't feel like you did your best, let it go and just make a vow to yourself, today I'm going to do it better.
Yes, that live and learn.
Oh, yeah. It's so much easier. So if you don't have all this garbage going on inside and you look at your day at the end of the day, and I do, I look at how did I do today? Because I look at myself in the mirror. I want to say, did I do a good job with this today or did I not? And if I go, I wasn't very nice to that guy in the grocery store. I was all caught up in this and I wasn't very kind. You know what? I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to stay conscious as I go about my day. I'm going to make a little more effort today to stay conscious so that I don't do something that doesn't look good to me. Because I'm not having somebody else judge me. I'm having myself judge me. And if I'm not being loving kindness, if I'm not being the way I really feel, with that compassion and that excitement, I don't want to spill that onto somebody else.
That's it. Well, then that's when you have a timeout and you have a little session with yourself.
Exactly.
Right? Which we all have those times.
We do. But I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I'm going to really say, tomorrow I'm going to do better.
Beautiful.
And then forgive myself and move on. Why not? Life's too short. Like Steve Jobs figured out. On your deathbed, you don't want to be figuring these things out. You want to figure this out when you're in grade school, high school, college, having your family, you want to know this at these times in your life, not 40